Welcome to Wayne's World Garage. Not quite Wednesday. We're going to the sawmill tomorrow. Today's Tuesday. I like my haircut, by the way. I'm going to talk about saw bits a little bit. You may recall a couple weeks ago we had a horrible time sawing. We tried putting in some nice looking sharpened saw bits, which somebody sharpened at home. I don't know who that would have been. And the saw got really hot. It was horrible. And it was pulling back away from the log, which I had never seen it pull this badly before. It pulled enough to move the guides. And that's absolutely insane. So we put in new saw bits and I ordered some more. And in the process of ordering more saw bits, I talked to this guy, Robbie, at B.H Payne in Georgia about saw bits. He probably lost money on that sale because he spoke to me on the phone for 45 minutes. And thank you so much for taking your time to explain, because a lot of this stuff we don't know. So let me tell you a little bit about what I learned about saw bits, and I hope you can see this here. To start with, these are the saw bits that we have been using. We used a 5/16 one and actually 9/32, a little bit smaller. They're stand-all bits. Stand-all bits. If you go to their website, the Payne website, B.H Payne, it's on the interweb, it's easy to find. You'll take a look, and this is what those bits look like. And it's kind of interesting, it is to me at least, maybe it's not to you, but the dealio with these things is these are designed for sawing logs that are frozen or hardwood. We live in Maryland. When was the last time we had a frozen log here? When was the last time the Chesapeake Bay froze over? And the way you can tell it's a standalone bit is, see this machined part down here? The issue with this, as explained to me, is when you file the top of this enough, it ends up getting so close to the standalone portion, which has to be filed too, this part ends up sometimes touching the log that you're trying to saw. What's the answer to that? Well, don't buy these bits. These bits aren't the best ones for us. So what they did, what Bobby told me, he said, get these bits here. These are, I don't know what the number is, but they're basically the same bits without the standalone thing. They'll work great for hardwoods, great for softwoods. We're steering away from the carbide bits because I am tired of chipping them, and these are relatively inexpensive, a little bit easier to replace. So that's what a brand new bit looks like. So we've got some extras also. Now, he also threw in something else for me. He threw in this saw guide. I'll talk about a bit removal too later. Oh, just throw that thing in. That's very nice of you. It is very nice of you. But what the heck is this thing anyway? And what good is it? And actually, I started playing with it. So I started playing with it a little bit, and hopefully this will work and we can see this okay. The goalio here is you take one of the new bits that they have that we just bought. And as he said, you file them all the time on the saw. And hopefully you can see this. Let's see if I can see it. Take a look at that. It's perfect. There's no real gap there. I hope that'll work. Hopefully you can see it. Maybe I can zoom in. Maybe I can't zoom in. But hopefully that works and you can see it pretty well. Okay. That's wonderful. Brand new bit. Let me check this other one. These are the ones we put in, because that's all I had lying around with these stand-alone bits for cutting frozen logs, which we don't have. That looks pretty good. All right, well that's cool. And by the way, the saw is cutting really, really well once we figured it out. So here's one of the stand-alone bits I sharpened. And take a look at this thing. It looks gorgeous. It's symmetrical, it's sharp, it's straight. Life should be good. Well, I took his little tool here, and I looked at it, and take a look at this. What in the heck? Who sharpened this thing? Who filed this thing? I didn't file it, I ground it on my grinder. Well, clearly that's not right. How the heck is this thing supposed to work right? It's never going to work right. It's horrible. It's horrible, which I know now. I didn't know back then. And my bad, we put 52 of these, or 40, whatever it is, 48 of these things in the saw, and the saw was overheating and just acting horrible. Well, that was just one of them. Let's check some of the other ones. Maybe the other ones I did a better job on. This one looks pretty good. It's rounded, and it doesn't It's horrible. All right, fail. There's 2 fails. Oh, I'm sure I'll hit some good ones. Not really. Additionally, I didn't clean the chip off of it. This one here looks okay to me. It's not bad, nice and shiny, sharp. Actually, that one's not bad. That one's not bad compared to the rest of them. Although we did see it's worn a little bit more on one side. Check out some more of them. This looks pretty good here. Look at that. It's not bad, but we're not going to use these guys. All right, so thank you, Bobby, for sending me this little saw tool. We appreciate it. We will use it. The other thing we did is he sent me some of these little pieces of metal because we apparently break them sometimes. So I put these back in. But what I like to do is I like to take a little piece of steel and weld it on the end so it doesn't fall out. Because where we operate, there's a lot of sawdust. And you have to have one of these shank removal tools if you're going to take the shanks out of your, or if you're going to take the bits out of your saw. All right, that's it for that. Last conversation, assuaging tool. Well, some of you may recall Frick and Jeep came to our second operation at the county fairgrounds, and he spent like an hour and a half sharpening our bits. Thank you so much, John, for doing that. 5 minutes later, we were sawing metal. So all his efforts were ruined. Wasn't quite as bad as this. This is a Doug special. Sorry, Doug. But whatever. But he did file it. He's hitting with a micrometer. Somebody says, we need to assuage him. So this is a assuaging tool. And I don't know how to use it. Maybe you do. If you do, leave a comment. What you're supposed to do is you put this on there. I'm not quite sure how you're supposed to do it. You bang it around, and it's supposed to make this thing wider. Well, I tried it just sitting here in my vise, and all I did was bend stuff. And if I look inside here carefully enough, I don't know how that's supposed to work. I really don't. But I'm going to play with it a little bit more once the bits get dull. That's a short video for today. Thanks for watching. We'll be sawing more boards tomorrow. I got those nice cans to finish up. Hope you enjoyed the show and hope to see you tomorrow. And thank you guys so much for everybody for subscribing. We're up to about 3,000 subscribers. Not enough people watching my videos, but that's the way it goes. I'm having fun making them, and I know a few of you guys like them. Take care. Have a good day.